So what we got here, guys, is an arithmetic sequence. Okay, now an arithmetic sequence is what we've been doing already. The gap is always the same. So an example would be question 4. You go 6, 11, 16. All right. So that's T1, T2, T3, dot 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 dot. Keeps going on. Gaps of 5. Does everybody agree with that? Okay. Now, what I could ask is the following. Everybody paying attention here? What I could also ask is that what happens if I want to figure out what T20 is? Do I have to count it all the way down? That'll take a lot of time, won't it? To constantly keep counting over and over and over again. So here's what you can do. You make a formula. This formula is called Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D. Alright? So, what happens here is, if I want to find out how this formula works, okay, what I do is I get an A value. My A value is the first term in my sequence. So what's the A value for this question?
6.
A value is 6. The D value is the distance between all my numbers. So what's the distance? 5. Next thing you do, you go to your Tn formula. You plug in A as 6. You leave your n minus 1 as is. And then you put your D is 5. Now, here's the tricky part, alright? You have to multiply whatever number is out here, you multiply it by the n and the minus 1. So you're going to get 6 plus 5n minus 5. And then after that, you're going to get 5n. And what's 6 minus 5? 1. Now let me explain how this works. Tn equals 5n plus 1. Right? If I want to find out T1, what do I do with n? Sub 1 in for n. 5 times 1 plus 1? 6. Exactly. If I want to find T3, 5 times 3 plus 1 gets me 16. 16 is what it was in the first place. And then if I want to find out what T20 is, what'd you say? T20? T20 be 5 times 20 plus 1 equals 101. Yeah, like 100, T100. You can find out 5 times 100 plus 1. Yes?
Could you not just multiply T2 by 10?
That's a question like that, okay? We'll try another one out. We'll try one that's obviously reducing in size, okay? So, what we have here is an example would be 4 minus 2 minus 8. So, 4 minus 2 minus 8. Now, if I want to find the distance between 4 and minus 2, what I do is this. I can just say, it's the big number, take away the smaller number. So 4 minus 2, it's a gap of 6. Okay? If you don't get, sometimes people have problems with that, so you can just always draw out a number line, and you can just go minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A gap of 6. Okay? So the gap here are 6s. Okay? Yeah, it's going down 6. You're right, Sam. Alright, so it's a gap of minus 6 on the way down, not on the way up. Okay? Now, what happens next, guys, is that we're asked to find Tn. Find in terms of n. Tn. You go to your book on page 20, your table on page 22. You don't have to learn this off. You find Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D. Now, what you do have to remember is, what is the A value?
Whatever the number is, the first number.
So A is 4. Okay. What is the D value?
6.
Minus 6. And then n minus 1. Finally, what do you do with the minus 6 and the n and the minus 1?
Multiply by n and minus 1.
And what you get? 4 plus?
4 plus minus 6n.
Minus 6n, yeah. And minus 1 by minus 6?
6.
Plus 6. And finally, Tn equals 4 plus 6? 10 minus 6n. Can I move the class suggest a way to check if I'm right or wrong? if I'm right, I should get 4 minus 2 followed by a minus 8. Alright, so if I test T1, T1 should be the number 4. 10 minus 6 times 1 equals 4. If I test T3, 10 minus 6 times 3 turns out to be minus 8. So you can check your answer. You can get 100% on this in your exam, knowing you got 100%. Okay? So basically the answer to the question is 10 minus 6n, but you also have the ability to check the answer. Does that make sense? Okay, one more for the roads. I won't go any further actually. I think I'll fry your brain this time of the day.
Can we do one of those just one more time?
It's the same type. It just has language on it as opposed to just 3 numbers. So arithmetic series 40, 36 and 32. What's the gap? Minus 4. Okay. What's the A value? A value? 40. D value?
Minus 12.
Okay, and finally, what's the formula I'm going to use? A plus n minus 1 times d. Now guys, there's two harder questions in here, so just pay attention. Tn is going to equal 40 plus n minus 1 multiplied by anybody? Minus 4. Then, after that, what happens when you multiply minus 4 by n? And then minus 1 by minus 4? Plus 4. And then finally the 40 and the 4. 44 minus 4n. Now, you can check that out if you want. I'm just going to assume we did alright this time. It goes, find the expression for Tn, done. Hence find T15. Anybody know how to find T15? So 44 minus 4 times 15 is 44 minus 60 minus 16. Now guys, I can ask this question a different way, and this is the biggest, what I'm about to tell you now in the next minute is the biggest mistake that most people are going to make in this whole course, alright? See the way, let me see, goes down in force. Okay, for you. Okay, can anybody tell me the difference between T12 and Tn equals 12? They're two distinctly different questions, okay? One of them says T12, but the other one says Tn equals 12, find n. So one of the questions is Tn equals 12, find n. The other one is find T12. Can anybody tell me what the difference is between those two questions? Okay, which one do you think you know how to do? The left one or the right one?
The left one.
You know how to do the left one. You get your old formula and you do 44 minus 4 times 12, 44 minus 48, and then 44 minus 48, and the answer is minus 4. This means when I count downwards, if I keep counting down, that's T1, that's T2, that's T3. If I find T4 and I keep counting, T12 will eventually turn out to be minus 4. That make sense? T12 turns out to be minus 4. Is everybody happy with that? Now here's the other question. What the other question is asking you is, if T3 is 32, T3 is 32, how far do I have to go until one of these turns into 12? So T4, T5, T6, T7, T8. So this question is asking you which term turns into a 12, and we know the answer is going to be T8, or n equals 8. However, the other answer was how much is the 12th term actually worth? Now there's another way of doing Tn equals 12. Everybody see my formula for Tn? 44 minus 4n. Everybody see that? And the question specifically tells me Tn equals 12. So what I can do is this. 44 minus 4n equals 12. Move the 44 over the other side. Minus 4n is equal to 12 minus 44. Minus 4n equals minus 32. What can I do to both sides? Change the sign. Divided by 4. N equals 8. Means T8 is equal to 12. Okay. Bear that in mind. 44 minus 4n. Which term in the sequence is 0? Which term in the sequence is 0? Now, if you were to count down a bit more, T9 is 8, T10, 4, T11, 0. Now, people do this in the Leaving Cert where they do a massive, and I mean they must have been counting for 5 minutes to get the answer. There's a much quicker way. You don't have to count all the way down. All you need to do is this. This question is basically me asking you Tn equals 0. That's basically what I'm asking you. What's the formula for Tn again? I'm asking you 44 minus 4n equals 0. You could count it, or you could do it much faster like this. 44 equals 4n. Same thing as 4n being equal to 44. Divided by 4. N equals 11. One of them took me 15 seconds. The other one will take me maybe a minute, minute and a half. Just constantly counting. Okay? Alright guys. I have